Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be everything that you have missed. 3.6 update in HSR summarized, hopefully within 10 minutes, right? So first things first, the first 15 minutes of the live stream is basically talking about the story updates and what is to come. If you don't want to look at spoilers, if you don't want to look at new boss, new areas, don't really have to worry about it that much, but we are going to be getting, I believe, 2 brand new areas. This is literally straight from the Shadow of Earth tree from Elden Ring, and then another one is going to be the potential 13th Titan somewhere over. Yeah, somewhere over. This is going to be the potential 13th Titan, so 2 brand new locations, as well as a brand new chicken boss. So this is going to be our brand new enemy coming out. I'm not too sure. Okay, yeah, I am sure this is going to be our next Memory of Chaos, right? Next MOC, we're going to be seeing this guy popping up, which is going to be very, very exceptional. And then now we're just jumping straight into Evernight herself. From the way that they revealed about her kit, early access is going to be coming out very, very soon. Really less than, like, I think, 5 days. Yeah, in 5 days we're gonna be getting an early access. But a TLDR from the way that they revealed her kit during the gameplay is that they did in fact pair her up with Casterus. So it's gonna be Casterus, Evernight, Hyacinth, as well as RMC. So they basically benched out Teep, which I personally think is still a little bit crazy that Teep is gonna be replaced before RMC. So what I'm guessing is gonna happen is that they showed the gameplay here using Casterus with Evernight and Hyacinth, and the reason why they didn't remove RMC over here is that because eventually RMC gets replaced by Cyrene. That's my theory, that's my consumption, that's my theorization, so take it as you will. But from the way that the kit looks is that you are gonna be gaining stacks from the jellyfish, and the moment you get 16 stacks, you gain the turn, and then you're gonna be able to do the additional damage. And when the thingy dies, okay, see, when the jellyfish dies, that's gonna be considered as a HP loss, giving our Casterus roughly 10% new butt, right? Yeah, literally 10% new butt. So I believe that is gonna be one of the better ways to generate new butt for Casterus. Comparing this with RMC and Teep, I'm not too sure if I would actually keep RMC over Teep. Okay, to be fair, RMC does have the brand new Mimo sprite, right? You have Mimi, which means that your overall total team's effective HP is a lot higher, which means Casterus' skill is going to generate more new buff for itself, because there's like more units for your HP to drain, right? But if you're going to be running Teep, Teep has a team-wide buff with all of the different debuffs, and I feel like E0 to E0, right? Okay, technically it's a free unit. I think it's very, very competitive. It just really just depends on like how much do you want this true damage multiplier, especially if you don't have an E1 team, right? So I'll leave it out to you. More details coming out for the creator server, so I'm just gonna leave it as that. And yes, Hyacinth is still gonna be pretty much the de facto best slot sustain for Casterus. I'm not too sure if she's gonna be able to work well with any other DPS, because I think Casterus is really the only one that really wants it. Maybe Maide, because she's also going to be a little bit of a HP scaling. I don't think Final is going to want her. I don't know if Anexa wants her. Perda, yeah, a little bit question. Maybe Aglea, right? Because you know, there might be a potential case, but we'll just see how that goes when the thingy comes out, or even like a main DPS, right? Or even like a main DPS. So we're just gonna skip through onto the next portion, which is gonna be the free unit, right? So first things first, this guy is completely free 99. So let me just jump into this portion over here. Free 99 limited unit done Heng to Guowang 2 from October 15th until the end of version 4. So unfortunately, we are not going to be getting him next week, or rather 2 weeks later when 3.6 goes up, which makes sense because that was like my first time seeing Bro's kit, and chat just thinks I'm corn acting. Whatever, you believe it, you think of myself, huh? So basically by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly 5 weeks from now is again where we're gonna be seeing him in the server, which I think is the same as Rachel, right? What's the same as Rachel? Like, Rachel also was free after his banner actually turns up, and then we're gonna be able to get him from until the end of version 4.0, which I'm guessing is just one last patch. That is going to be Cyrene. Oh wait, is that a 3.8? Because they did say 3.8, we're going back Panic, right? I don't know, but 3.7 is pretty much either the last patch or the... Okay, there is 3.8. Okay, so it's gonna be 3.7, 3.8 until the end of version 4, which means that we have 7, 8, 4, 3 whole patch, which is 18 weeks, by the way. 18 weeks to get this guy for free. And also, blah, 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 blah. A little bit funny, all of the male units so far, they're all free, right? Rachel is free, Archer is free, Darling is free. The thing is, this is our first free sustain. Because the previous 2 free units, they were DPS, and DPS is a lot more replaceable, generally speaking, because, you know, there's a shit ton of DPS in HSR, and HSR is a game, your power, creep, all the kind of DPS change all the time. Generally speaking, your sustain slot and your support slot is a little bit more inflexible compared to DPS. So, looking at his actual kit itself, it appears that bro has the bond mate mechanic, right? He has a bond mate, so he casts his skill on, let's just say he gives it to Anexa, and then he summons an additional dragon tied to the bond mate. I'm not exactly sure what are the details pertaining to his actual in combat, but from the way that this looks, is a team-wide AoE. This guy is the bond mate, and then when he casts his ultimate, it's also gonna be a team-wide AoE with the AoE shield as well as AoE damage, and his dragon does a full-up attack. So I'm not too... Can he replace Aventry? My biggest question is because right now he can be paired up with Anexa, right? But there might be a chance that you could just run him in like your old follow-up teams, because if the dragon is gonna be able to do a follow-up attack, what's stopping that from giving us the additional damage from Barbin's additional damage proc as well as the energy for Barbin, right? Or even Face Yao, because they did say it's a follow-up attack. So if it constitutes as a stack for Face Yao, then I can see my wife coming back to the spotlight once again, right? So that is gonna be the free unit down here. I have no idea what this guy actually does out until the probably 1 week before 15th of October. So that is pretty much it. Other than that, the banner itself is gonna be the Herda. Okay, also this is gonna be you know, indie comedy, a little bit of an indie comedy. This is gonna be Remembrance Evernight into the Herda rerun for the first half. And yes, that is a DDD banner. I don't actually remember when was the last time we've had a DDD banner, but this is gonna be exceptionally good value, especially if you do not have an S5 DDD. I don't know how much Evernight wants her signature. I haven't played with it enough yet, but I know for a fact if you still love the Herda, this Litecoin is a pretty decent investment. For example, my free-to-play account, if I really want to take Herda to the next level, I could potentially just pull on the Herda banner. If not, I will see if I really want it for Evernight. Yep, that is going to be a DDD rate up banner. Then afterwards, it's going to be Anexa into Heng, but this guy is free, right? We're going to be getting him for free. You get the free materials to level him up, but you are not getting his signature light code. So it's a little bit similar to, I think, Dr. Ratio back then. It's a free E0S0. We didn't get Dr. Ratio light code, but Ratio's light code was a pretty substantial damage increase, at least compared to Cruise and Stellar Series, because of the defense and everything. So we'll see how crazy this signature light code is going to be. At most, I think if players do want to invest, maybe I'll get S1, but generally speaking for sustains, I almost don't really ever pull for their light codes, and because I don't think the sustain light code changes that much, especially for example, preservation units, you have your Day 1 of My Life, you have your textual memories, you have all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what the utility of this light code is actually going to be in the going future, right? So that's going to be free. So okay, event, we have the Uma Musume Honkai Uma Pretty Railed. I shit you guys know, this is literally Uma Musume. For my viewers that watch my HSR content, and if you have never played Uma Musume in your life, this is literally Uma Musume's gameplay loop, right? You are gonna train your Droma over here. You're gonna give okay, so take it over, right? You have your HP training, right? And then you have your wit training. And then you have your punch training. So I'm getting the strength, intelligence, and health. So you're going to be able to train these up. And then once you hit their respective checkpoint, they mention a test, which is very similar to Uma Musume's like your A career checkpoint. Which I just think it's so funny that we actually have this event within the HSR after 2 months later where Uma Musume just completely popping off. So looking forward to see how this event is. Other than this, we do have the double PvP event because it is year 2025. It is also 30-player lobby. Holy. Yeah, so double PvP event of the plate event before, which is Seal Slammer as well as the Origami Bird Exceptional. This is the AHA event. Try not to laugh challenge. So it's kind of like a similar to those like combat challenges we've had before, but very similarly focused onto AHA. So you can see Sambo, you can see Sparkle, we can see Sarita, which is not really AHA, but maybe that might be doing something going forward in the future, because I don't know where this event is coming from, but very interesting. So that is gonna be that. And then afterwards, this is gonna be our brand new 3-team endgame content anomaly arbitration. They announced this, I believe, 2 patches back in like 3.3. Yeah, they announced it back in 3.3 that we're gonna be getting this in 3.6, and this is gonna be our version of Daily Assault from Zenless Zones, where you basically need 3 different teams. Wait, where is the UI? Okay, so this is the one, right? So I can see over here 3 different teams with the main boss. I'm guessing Ligus is going to be our first rotation over here with 3 different teams. And then this is going to be a 9-star. But based on the UI previously is that we're not going to be getting Stellar Jades. But instead we're going to be getting those dices as well as the currency. Similar to the pure version as well as A-Box Shadows. So that, oh shit, I almost missed that. I see Super Break, which is very, very true. So this is gonna be the Super Break. Yeah, the classic Super Break boss. Puppet Trio, Memory Zone Min with Lightning Wind as well as physical. And this is the brand new enemy, the Black Tide Short, the guy that deals a shit ton of damage, which is gonna be quantum and physical. So they actually did give Super Break a little bit of a room to play here. So Super Break means you're at least guaranteed this team more or less settle. And then these 2 teams you kind of just play by yourself. I think Memory Zone Min, you can play DOT, you can play follow up, you have quite a lot of different team comps. I remember this guy was weak to fire and imaginary wells unless they change the weaknesses. Stygian guy, I'm not sure what the final boss is gonna be because I don't think that's the final boss. But literally Super Break right here, right? Firefly, Runmei, Fuke, Lingsha. I think this is number of turns, right? 6, 4, 2, and I'm guessing this is like full clear or whatever that's gonna be. I'm not too sure. And then this is gonna be the different enemies, and there's the final boss like us with their buffs. So you can actually select a buff over here. They haven't revealed what it is yet, so it's very similar to Pure Fish as well as A-Box. Oh, so I'm guessing this. Right, so the higher the number, the worse it is. So the lower the number, the better it got. Right, so that's gonna be that. And then boom, 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 boom. That's gonna be 17 million, right? Yep. 个十百千万. Yeah, it's a 17 million damage dragon. So I'm guessing the health bar of this thing is absolutely inflated to Kingdom Come, right? I'm almost certain there are mechanics to make your dragon deal 17 million. Unless they are using a full E6 team over here. I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure this event is designed to have some kind of like additional numbers to make it look like, oh my god, you're doing 17 million damage, which you only dealt like what? 1/4 of his full HP. So I'm gonna see how the scaling is gonna be like going forward in this game. So once you beat this guy, you unlock this Crazel thingy. Oh my god, what a goddamn casual. Oh my god, he didn't get a single star? What the hell? Okay, he got 1 star. He got a 1-star clear. Oh my god, that's crazy, bro. Using this as damage is absolutely great. So this is gonna be the currency. This is the brand new dice mechanic, the variable dice. So when you want to reroll, you can lock or rather block a subset, right? So this is where they start explaining over here. You can toggle this option on. And then when you go in for the reroll, you can block out a stat that it will actually re-roll in. Unfortunately, this is a completely different currency from the original variable dice, which means that you actually need both at the same time to cast your rerolls. I'm not sure if they can convert between one another, but if it can, then I hope that you guys didn't spend too many of these back in those days. Right? If it cannot be converted, like this is a brand new currency they can only get from 3-team endgame content, then probably it will be very, very wise to just basically save all of these at least until you get this, right? Because I have seen countless examples where people re-roll a reroll and it changed to be the exact same reroll, or it was even worse. And also, why the hell are we re-rolling a 3-roll crit rate? Are you okay? Are you okay? Why would you do this? Holy sh... That has to be screwed up. That has to be goddamn... There's... Yahweh himself personally wrote on this, right? There's no way in God's green earth you cannot do this. Unless you're Yahweh, you're never gonna do this. So please never re-roll a 3-roll crit rate, by the way. That is absolutely insane. But that's basically the brand new currency. Very, very good. And then we have ourselves the brand new pet system as well as the other kind of things you can buy. So this is gonna be the I believe the trace materials. I think there's the wallpaper. Some hamster. I think these are like profile pictures. I think there's a pom-pom like thingamabob over there. Okay, but anyways, you can in fact get yourself this brand new pet with all the skin. It doesn't appear that there are any pay to win aspects. of the actual shop itself, unless you consider this tier's material as pay to win, everything here seems to be basically purely cosmetics. So that's gonna be, I was really hoping that they can include like future unit skins. So for example, I want like a challenger teeth, right? I want a challenger firefly, exactly the same how League of Legends does it. So that's gonna be our brand new endgame content shop over there. Okay, skip this. Okay, brand new 4-piece relic next week on the early access. So we're gonna be able to take a look at what exactly they do. So that's gonna be there. I'm pretty sure they are probably for Evernight. Nah, I'm almost certain that for Evernight, maybe for Heng as well. So one for Evernight, one for Heng, because that's been the same strategy every single time whenever a new patch drops. So that's gonna be very, very nice. And then after this, we have story recap, quality of life for the casuals, a brand new controller, which is like way better than the Firefly controller, and that would sum up the everything you have missed in version 3.6 live stream. Right? So that's gonna be there. Oh wait, one last thing, all new large scale permanent game mode is coming soon. One last thing, I have no idea what this is. It's revolutionized, by the way. Revolutionize the battlefield with boundless strategies, with 10 different slots. I don't know what this is. I don't even know if it's PvP, because it is 10-person team and they chose 8, and then there's like a little bit of a icon here, and you can use unique ultimate animations. You can literally use a lore accurate ultimate animation. Firefly actually does a super cool move from the battle itself. So I don't know if it's TCG, but it's gonna be called a version 3.7 currency wars. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Alright, see you guys next time. Bye bye.